Ladies and gentlemen, Fight Bananas presents Coffee and KOs Outside the Octagon. We're crazy about fights and jacked on caffeine.
Ladies and gentlemen,
It's time!
tonight's main event is scheduled for one 30-minute interview. Interviewing out of the red corner, the Coffee N KOs Crew. Being interviewed out of the blue corner, Jason, the Vanilla Gorilla Witt.
Hey, Jason, thanks for joining us today.
It's probably one of the best intros I've ever had.
I do what I can.
Like Bruce Buffer, and then like right below that was just the intro you just had, I think.
Like minuscule amount of under Bruce Buffer, but I
Yeah.
dig it. And the best around song.
Awesome.
You can't, I mean, you got to dance to that song. You gotta love that song.
Awesome. Yeah, Carrie's over here to my right. He's kind of like our producer. He's over in the corner there. But that's the one thing he kind of enjoys to do is the little intros there. So we appreciate that from him. But hey, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you taking time to come hang out with us. And we normally like to start our interviews with are you a coffee guy or are you not a coffee guy?
I'm a coffee guy 100%. My wife actually just bought me a Keurig for my gym. She's like, I'm sick of you going to Quick Trip and spending money on coffee at Quick Trip. So she's like, here's a Keurig, make your own coffee, save some money. Two birds, one stone.
Nice.
Now, do you ever find like I have a Keurig too, but I feel like I really like coffee. Like sometimes if I want like a really nice cup of coffee, I won't use the Keurig because I feel like it does have like a little bit less quality.
I'm not calling you a snob, but I'm not that big of a coffee snob. So I'm like, as long as I get a little, I wake up at 4 a.m. every morning, Monday through Friday. So as long as I get a little bit of caffeine in me, I don't care. I'm cool with it.
And are you drinking it black or are you adding cream, milk? How you drinking it?
I like my coffee like I like Beyonce. A lot of cream, a lot of sugar.
Now
I
I
can
feel like
respect that.
I feel like this would be an appropriate time to mention because we are Coffee and KOs and we're talking about coffee. What are your thoughts on the French vanilla gorilla?
The French. I'm American, so you can't go French vanilla. I mean, I get it. I like it. I see your idea. I dig it. But the vanilla gorilla, it's the name. I can't get away from it. It's not like I picked it. Somebody gave it to me and it just stuck and everybody laughed. And now it's just the way it is.
Yeah, how did that name come about? Tell us the story because obviously it's one of the most interesting names, definitely in fighting. Because you have guys like your boy, you have like those different names, and so yours is definitely you'll be known as the Vanilla Gorilla, just like Luis Pena is the Violent Bob Ross. Like there's just with some of those names that just they stick.
For sure. So there's a point in my career I cut to 155. It was my last amateur fight. I cut to 155. I did it wrong. Just the dieting that went into it was just terrible. I didn't know anything about nutrition or how to go about it. And after the fight, I went from like 155 to 198 within a matter of a month. Like just put on way too much. Like I still had 6-pack abs, but like I was just a big dude. And I'm super athletic. And my coach was like, we're in the middle of class, and he's like, man, you look Vanilla Gorilla. The whole class starts laughing. I start laughing. He's like, that's your name now. Like I had my first pro fight like a month from that. So I just kind of had to roll with it. And Jason High gave him the nickname, and it's stuck ever since.
Do you feel like nicknames usually come in when you're at like the amateur level, like when you first get into a gym, or like where do you see like nicknames really come into play there?
That's a great question. I guess you gotta see as an amateur. Like, I mean, if you got a guy who bulldozes people, like Devin Weber, he's a guy from our gym. We call him the Juggernaut. That's not his nickname, but I'm gonna make it his nickname. We're gonna make sure he gets stuck with that nickname. But even as an amateur, he's just the way he fights, the way he does things. It's just like a juggernaut. He's not backing up. He's just rolling through people. So I think you kind of formulate the nickname through an amateur, kind of how you fight and what you do.
We actually interviewed Devin Weber, so we were advocating. We were talking about whether it should be the Juggernaut Devin Weber or Devin the Juggernaut Weber, or So we actually ran a poll, and Juggernaut in the middle actually won the poll.
That was
So
my pick. That was my pick.
I'm kind of a fan of the beginning, but I like both. I think both are dope, so I can respect both.
You can't go wrong with either one. He's also the best bowler too. So
man.
Okay, so this is another thing. So
I didn't go bowling, but I watched that episode, so I know the whole story behind it. But yeah, I never got to go bowling with them. They don't like me. I'm not in the cool kids club.
Oh wow, is that because like you're a little bit older than them, you think, or what's that about?
I'm old and married. I don't.
That's
wanna go
okay
out
though.
anyways. I'm gonna say no. I'm not mad about it by any means. That's
Oh, okay.
They're a little bit younger, so they kind of they have their own little thing going. Like I'm a married guy, and I have no problem sitting in my basement watching TV, not going out bowling. So
is it kind of like, is it cliquey in the gym a little bit? Like everyone kind of has their like small groups.
I mean, in a sense, yes, but we're all in the same. Like we're all the same at the same time, and that doesn't make any sense at all. But yeah, you have the younger kids who kind of all hang out together. They go out, and you have like the older guys. We've been around a while, and we're like, we don't want to go out anymore. We got kids and wives and all that stuff. So I'm exhausted from training, let alone going out and bowling afterwards.
I hear that. Trust me, once you have kids, you'll be begging to get out of the house. Just take it from a man that has children. You'll be like, honey, I'm going for 2. And
Okay.
and you'll just tell your wife, honey, I'm going out for a drive, and she'll be like, to where? And you'll just say, I don't know yet, but I'm gonna figure it out as I start driving because I need to get out of the house. Huh?
Man, I do that now. Like my wife, I don't know. I grew up like up north of the river in Kansas City, and like you went cruising on Friday nights. You didn't have cell phones. You didn't have all that stuff back in the day. So you went cruising around. Like if you saw people at Quick Trip, like you stopped at Quick Trip, and that's how you met like the parties and stuff were. My wife didn't have that. So like for me, I'll literally just throw on a good jam and just go. Like I have a 99 Z28 Camaro that's souped up, and I love driving it. And I'll just throw on some good music and just go driving around. She's like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, I don't care. I have nowhere to go. I'm just driving. It's what I want to do. So I don't even have kids, and I'm probably gonna do that.
Yeah, you will, trust me. Now, what is Quick Trip? Because so we've interviewed, I feel like almost everyone at Glory at this point. But what is it? So I'm from Pennsylvania. We're from Pennsylvania. Steve's from Massachusetts. I've never heard of Quick Trip.
Okay, Quick Trip is the best gas station, highest quality. Every Quick Trip's the exact same. Like if you go to like a gas station, you go to the same gas station like a mile or two away. It's different. It's owned by different people. Like Quick Trip it's everything's nice. It has everything you need. Best quality gas, best quality everything. They're everywhere in Kansas City. I've wanted to
like a Wawa?
open. What are you? Is that Spanish?
Is it like
what is Wawa?
is it like a Wawa or a Quick Check? That's what we have here.
I think that's like a regional thing as well. Wawa.
Sheets, like those type of things.
Yeah, I don't speak Spanish, but I'm guessing it's like the largest chain in Kansas City or around this area. Like it's just the largest gas station. It's the nicest gas station they have.
So you guys really pride yourselves on your gas stations, which I can respect that. See, like up here, it's like all Wawa, and I like Wawa. It's cool, but I don't really
nice
like
and organized.
Yeah, I would say so. It's like a mini grocery store kind of looking thing too.
Okay.
So I mean,
yeah,
it's pretty nice.
It's probably similar to that. Like I go out of my way to go to a Quick Trip over going to another gas station. Let's put it that way.
I would agree with that because I think like you can't go to a typical gas station and get like a milkshake, but I can go to Wawa, get gas, and get a milkshake.
Dude, they have Quick Trip kitchens now. You can order food. You can order breakfast. You can order pizza. You can order milkshakes. You can order whatever. Like it's the one-stop shop, greatest place in the entire world in terms of gas stations.
Are you sponsored by them?
No.
I feel like you should.
I thought that was like a plug
I
for
should
Quick
get
Trip.
a gas sponsorship here.
You should get a gas. You should get sponsored by them because the way that you talked about them, they would be throwing you dollars like it was nobody's business.
I think I just gave them a bunch of business. I don't know, they're not earning money either. That place is always packed.
So we've actually been talking about, so we've interviewed a ton of guys at Glory. And first off, why is everyone at Glory so nice? Like everyone, we're a newer podcast. We've only been around since like July, and people at Glory just love to come on our show, and they're awesome. I love it.
A lot of us are like kind of new and up and comers. I mean, you're doing Devin Weber, you're doing Mo, you know, all those people like who've never done interviews before, and like I remember being like super nervous from my like first couple interviews. Like I don't know what I'm gonna say, I don't know what I'm talking about. And now like I appreciate doing interviews. Like our managers at Meridian, they're like, hey, can you do an interview? I'm like, give me every interview you got. I want to do this. Like I love getting my name out there. I love talking to people, and I love just I don't know. We're all nice until we get on the mat. That's just the story.
I was gonna say, is there like a switch there that you flip? It's like everything's nice up until that moment, but as soon as you get in the octagon, you're just like killer instincts go in.
Yeah, we're also after like there's a lot of new people that have been coming into Glory, and they're like, you guys are just this place is different. The grind is different. It's a lot more workload than I think people think it's gonna be. And we work our asses off here. It's a blue collar gym. Everybody's working their ass off, but we all support each other and hang out with each other. And so I mean, the reason we're nice is we all doing this shit. You can't be mad about your life. You're sitting here training 6 days a week at one of the nicest gyms in the world and just enjoying fighting.
And how did you find Glory? What was your start there?
I've known Kraus for quite a few years. Obviously, you know, we kind of both grew up in the Regis, and he was there a little bit before I was. So I trained at a place in Carter, Missouri called Submission Inc. That's just one of the first places I started training at. Kind of grew up, and then I became the best guy in the room, and I was like, I'm not getting what I need. I need to find a bigger place. So I went to HD MMA, which is Jason High and LC Davis's gym. It's no longer around, but I went there, kind of trained with them, and I wasn't the best in the gym, but I wasn't getting the best training partners I needed. I wasn't getting more training partners that I needed. So I reached out to James Kraus and said, yeah, stop by, you know, check it out once a week, see what you think. And I never left. And I think I've been here six years, something like that now. So it's been a hell of a trek.
So we've actually talked about coming down to Glory MMA. So we're actually under the Fight Bananas banner. So they picked our podcast up, and we kind of like work for them. And we've talked about coming down to Glory MMA and challenging you guys to an Olympics. So we were talking to Grant, and we were saying, you know, we think that like Grant has said that most of you guys are just wrestlers and fighters. You can't throw like baseballs or footballs. You can't shoot a basketball. So we're talking about coming down to Glory MMA eventually and maybe putting on a little bit of an Olympics and making a little YouTube video out of it.
You're saying that we can't play football and basketball? He's sitting over here. He's talking to Coffee N KOs. They said you can't play basketball or football. We're just all wrestlers and fighters.
I am. I don't know about that.
I'm not. I'm 100% like I grew up playing football. I grew up playing basketball. Like I'm an athlete too, so that helps me out a lot.
Are you the best athlete at Glory?
David Onama.
Oh,
okay. Or Devontae Fletcher. Now, those guys are just natural athletes. So yeah, can I keep up with them? Yes.
We're thinking about like some ping pong, maybe a little. Well, we're gonna throw everything in there. Like there might even be a checkers game.
Oh, I'm in on checkers. Play some chess with Kraus. I guarantee you, he plays chess all the time.
That makes sense.
I feel like a good way to do it with athleticism, but we're all like, at least us, we're not athletes anymore, but that translates into yard games well. So I feel like if we did some sort of like cornhole can jam type of tournament thing, I think that's where we might thrive a little bit.
Good luck.
Yeah. All right.
I like this.
I love some cornhole. I'm in, man. I'm competitive. Somebody asked me the other day, they're like, are you competitive just in fighting? I'm like, absolutely not. Like I will, if my wife and I leave the exact same place, I will try to beat her home, and I will make sure I beat her home, and vice versa. If she beats me home, she'll sit in the driveway and just stare at me until I get home. She's like, "So go on, son of a
bitch." But you're driving the Camaro. There's no way you're losing.
No, I don't lose. I'll drive just to beat her home. But
I was gonna say, yeah. All right, we're gonna
have a good game of cornhole. I love all those sports, so I'm in.
I think we're gonna have to make this happen. We're gonna have to come down to Glory MMA, and we're gonna have to shoot a YouTube video and just make it Coffee N KOs /Fight Bananas takes on Glory MMA, and I think it would make for an electric YouTube video.
Oh, I definitely that would definitely get a lot of views, a lot of good publicity for sure.
And it'll get you out of the house.
And it'll get me out of the house. Like, you're damn right, Carrie.
You're welcome.
All right. So, getting on to some fight news, you actually just got, at least I just saw that you have an upcoming fight with Matthew Semmelsberger. Kind of take us through that. How do you feel like you match up? I think personally, I've watched Semmelsberger fight. I feel like you match up perfect with him.
Yeah, he's a bigger guy. He's gonna be bigger and more athletic. I definitely think a lot tougher fight than the last fight that I had. But I also think he's basic. I don't think his experience level is going to keep up with mine, and I think that'll shine in the fight. I haven't seen a lot of wrestling out of him. I haven't seen a lot of takedown defense. I haven't seen a lot of that. He's more of a one-punch striker, kind of a Muay Thai 1-2-3 kick. Doesn't set up a 6 well, which I'm notorious for. He can move down off kicks. I have great timing. I know I really match up well with him, and I'm gonna prove that when it comes to March 13th.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like you match, like, because that's what I basically saw in his fight against Minus, was really just the striking was pretty good, but like, I don't know, I don't see any wrestling background for him. And with you, I feel like I've seen you wrestle, and you look very, very comfortable and much. I feel like you're going to be much stronger than he is.
Yeah, that's the game plan. I'm not a big 170, but I'm a strong 170. Like, I don't get thrown around a lot. Yeah, I think what we do at Glory MMA is blending things in, and I think he's just one style, like kickboxing straight into that, where I can blend a overhand right into a shot, into a combination, into another shot. Like, I blend things really together really well, where I feel like he does not. And I think for me, when the fight comes, that I will show that, just setting things up, and especially the what we've been doing lately at Glory MMA is definitely, we're outworking everybody, and we're doing different stuff. And with James Krause, Grant Dawson, Austin Portos, all those people teaching us, we're all learning every day. So we're getting better every day. So even from the last fight, I already feel like I'm on a different level than I was for the last fight.
Absolutely. And I feel like I just recently watched the Cole Williams fight and the Sato fight. Obviously the Sato fight, you got caught. That happens. We don't talk about that one. The Cole Williams fight was sick, though, because you completely controlled that fight the entire time. And I've only seen those few fights from you. Is that typically how, like, your plan goes? Is that usually what the roadmap is for you?
I mean, it's all the game plan Krause and our team formulates. It really is. With Williams, it was, we knew he missed weight. We heard in the grapevine that he hadn't been training with good partners. So we knew shooting on him early was really going to kind of wear him down. And we knew he had a power right hand. That's really all he brought to the table was pressure and a power right hand. So we knew if we fit in early, take him out early, kind of smoke him for the first round, the second round was just be money for us. And so I feel like I'm good at everything. So setting up a game plan, really, I can go one way or the other. I can strike with the wrestlers, I can wrestle with the strikers, or I can do both. It really doesn't matter. So whatever they set up for the game plan is what we work on in training, and that's what I try to execute in fight.
And do you think you entered the UFC at the right time, or do you wish it would have happened sooner? Because like we've talked to Minner and Kroom, and they're always like, well, we're happy that we're here now. Like if we were here earlier, maybe we wouldn't have success. And like Minner specifically was like, young guys really don't belong in the UFC. You need guys that are like almost super vets that have seen everything. And like he rags on guys like Chase Hooper, which we hate Chase Hooper, so it's totally cool. So he rags on Hooper because Hooper's 21 and he really gets his ass kicked every fight and then just manages to somehow pull off a win. So do you think like now that you basically are like a seasoned vet, this is like the perfect time for you to be in the UFC?
Absolutely. I look back at like 6 or 7 fights ago. I'm like, man, I'm ready to be in the UFC. I should be there. That's where I belong. And looking back at it now, it's like I'm glad I waited. I'm glad it happened the way it did. You know what I mean? I'm glad I'm in the UFC now instead of 5 years ago when I thought I should have been in the UFC. Like, I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. Even a 48 seconds loss to Soto on 2 days' notice, it got me the opportunity to get in the UFC. So I believe that timing is everything. So I believe I'm happy where I'm at now, and I'm glad that it did take that amount of time.
And looking back at your career, I thought it was interesting because it seems like every fight you're doing it on a different promotion. What was there a reason that you were kind of bouncing around, or what was going on with that?
We were trying to get in the UFC. That's what we were trying to do. So we took every fight we could. I mean, there was a point that I took like 4 fights in 5 months, something stupid. We were just trying to get in the UFC, so whatever promotion we could find a fight for. Uh, there's been many times that Joe Wooster would just say, "Witt," I'm like, "Yep." Like he wouldn't even be asking me about a fight, but I'm like, "Yes." Like I don't care if it's a fight. I don't care if it's you want to go get coffee. I don't care. It's just yes. Let's go.
Now, was there like any, so we asked this a lot, was there any interest from like Bellator or anything like that? Or did you kind of block that out and you were just like, UFC is where I want to be and that's it?
UFC is where I want to be, no matter what. Like I fought in Bellator, that's great. Those are good guys, but even the top echelon of the guys go to the UFC. Look at Michael Chandler right now. He's happy in the UFC. That's where he wants to be because he knows that's the best guys there is. So I want to test myself against the best guys that I can in the UFC. That's where it's at.
And have you?
Yeah, I feel like that's the common answer. Sorry, Steve. Go ahead.
That's okay. I was just gonna say, have you the level of competition to be a lot greater than what you faced previously? Or are you still kind of figuring that out right now?
I honestly I don't know. My last fight, Cole Williams, was probably one of my easiest fights I've had to date. I've had a lot of tough fights. I've had a lot of tough opponents. I've had a lot of wars, but I say this a lot in class. I'm like shooting in on Cole Williams' hips was like easier than shooting in on a 125-pound girl sometimes. Like it was. I don't know what it was about that fight, but when I shot in on him, he had no hips. It was just I picked him up and went. So I don't know yet. I've only had 2 fights. Sato, can't really talk about that fight because I mean he caught me quick and that's just the way it was. Williams wasn't a hard fight, so next fight I know it's gonna be hard. I know it's gonna be a difficult fight, but I'm up for the challenge and I think about that every day and I'm working harder to make it so the competition is not as hard as it needs to be or should be.
You got this, bro. You have fans in us now. You're gonna destroy Semmelsberger, like without a doubt. So I gotta ask though, your wife, how does she handle you fighting? Like, does she freak out? Does she watch, or like, how does she handle that?
Heavy amounts of alcohol.
Okay, yeah, that makes total sense.
Usually it.
Yeah, I mean, so like my mom's she's been to like almost every one of my fights she can go to. When she first started watching fights, she took Xanax and drank. Like she was in a nervous wreck. My mom now can do it sober, which is good. My wife still drinks quite a bit. She's nervous, but you know, when we first started dating, I told her like, look, this is what I'm doing. I've lost a lot of girlfriends to this. Like, if you're not in this with me, then there's no point in even going further. So like, this is day one. This is what I'm doing. If you don't like it, leave. If you do, thank you for your support. Appreciate that. Like sticking with me. But yeah, she loves it. I mean, she loves it as much as any wife loves watching her husband fight in a cage. But yeah, she's very supportive, and yeah, she drinks a lot.
It probably makes her feel good that you could kick the shit out of anyone who messes with her too. So I mean, that's also kind of cool. She's got like a personal security system.
That's true. That is true. But anybody in the street, I just like, you win. Like I walk like there's guys trying to fight me. I'm like, you win. I'm out.
Well, yeah, because it's not worth it. But you know what would really happen, so you don't have to worry about it.
No, then you start getting into like the Mike Perry headlines and the weird Conor McGregor headlines. You don't need that.
No, but that's different. Like if you say something to my wife, they're just words, right? You're not going to get me to fight you because hey, your wife's a bitch. Well, is my wife a bitch? No, so that really doesn't bother me at all.
Right.
Now, if you walk up and grab my girl's ass, we have a different problem. That's a physical, altercation that needs to be met with a physical altercation.
I agree. I like that take. All right, so we know that you have some stuff to do. We don't want to keep you too long, so we're gonna run 2 segments, and then you're good to go. So we got our first segment. It's called the Significant Strike segment. We ask 3 questions that were formulated by our wives. So my wife asked a question, Steve's wife and Carrie's wife, or Steve's soon-to-be wife and Carrie's wife, and then and then you pick which one you found. You answer all 3 and then pick which one you thought was the funniest.
Okay.
Or best question. All right, Carrie. All right, question 1. What would be your weapon of choice in a zombie apocalypse?
AK-47.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know a lot about guns. I just bought a brand new shotgun that's semi-automatic, so it's pretty cool. But I feel like AK-47 just murders everybody.
I was thinking
Zombies and-
chainsaw, and then I was like, why would you not choose a gun?
It's
That's the
too
smart
close.
answer.
I don't want too close combat. Stay as far away
Sweet.
as possible.
You're telling me that you would be scared of a zombie. Jason Witt, the vanilla gorilla, would be scared of a zombie?
Not if I had an AK-47.
Okay.
Could you rear naked choke of a zombie?
They're already dead, so it doesn't really matter. You're not cutting off blood flow to someone that's not already getting blood flow.
True.
We're going deep in this now. Now we're really going deep.
What is the most useless piece of clothing invented?
Useless piece of clothing. Underwear. Sorry,
I
let
mean,
me rephrase that. Women's underwear. It just gets in the way of stuff. It's not needed.
I kind of agree. Like I think I thought about this question as well, and I that was my choice was underwear. I feel like that's that's the most ditchable piece of clothing.
Yeah, socks you need, pants you need because they keep you warm. But underwear, it's already covered up by pants or shorts or whatever. But women's underwear, it just gets in the way of the good stuff. There's no reason for it.
True. I agree as well. All right, last one. What is advice you would give yourself 10 years ago?
That's a deep question too.
Whew.
Work hard and believe in yourself. I think
All right.
confidence is a huge thing, and that's something I've struggled with over the years. And looking back 10 years from now, just believe in yourself of what you're doing. Just put in the work and believe in what you're doing. Believe in the practice you're putting in.
I like that. All right. So those were the 3 questions. Pick which one you thought was the best, and then I will tell you who asked each question.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the clothing question because I never asked that question before, so I gotta go with that.
All right. That one was Carrie's
Did I get a
wife.
win?
You got to win.
I
You
got to
finally
win.
got to
We
win.
broke the streak.
Come on.
My wife was on like a 5 interview win streak. So
Which one was her
finally the
question?
streak is over. My wife's question was the weapon of choice in a zombie apocalypse.
That's a good question. That's a good question.
I haven't
then-
won in like 8 weeks, so I don't know. I just give up.
No, don't
Tell you
give
what,
up.
step your game up.
Didn't you just hear him? He said, "Don't give up. Have faith in yourself." And you're over here saying you're giving up, Steve. Figure it out, bro.
Damn it. Maybe that's why I'm losing.
Yeah.
Do some homework
ridiculous.
and just come up with like 1,000 questions, and then find like the best 10 questions, and you have 10 weeks of answers. You have 10 weeks of winning.
There you go, Steve.
Hypothetically.
All right.
I'm just trying
Tell
to help
her-
out here.
All right, so Steve's going to take you through rapid fire, and then actually the last part of the interview, we let you plug whatever sponsors or say anything that you want to say, ask us a question, whatever you want, and then we shut down the interview. Steve, rapid fire.
Let's go.
All right. So rapid fire. I'm going to give you 2 options. You tell me which one you prefer, and there's also some other questions in there as well to end it. So, crowd or no crowd?
Okay.
Apex or Fight Island?
Apex.
Hometown, fight night, main event, or main card on the pay-per-view?
Fight night main event.
Fight of the Year award or Knockout of the Year award?
Knockout of the year award, because if it's knockout, that means I won no matter what. Fight of the year, I could have lost.
That's true. What would drive you crazier, a bad stoppage or a bad judge?
Bad judge. You should watch the whole fight, knowing that you could have made a better decision, but with the one stoppage, you had a split-second thing to make a decision on that. So I think bad judge.
That's a good way to look at that. If a restaurant had a Jason Witt special, what would it be?
Ooh, anything peanut butter chocolate. You just peanut butter chocolate shake. I don't care. I guess the vanilla gorilla, you'd have to throw in a banana. So banana peanut butter chocolate.
Have you ever had peanut butter and jelly on a hamburger before? Apparently that's a thing.
That's a thing.
Yeah, now people
It
are
doesn't
saying it's
sound
very
But
good.
now I want to try it.
Is that a Massachusetts thing? Because I know damn well that is not in Pennsylvania.
I think people are just getting crazy and they just will start making anything. I don't know. I'm just saying I heard it was really good.
Is marijuana legal in Massachusetts?
Yes.
Well, that explains a lot.
Oh, there you go. Very good. Very good, Jason.
I'm just connecting dots here.
Yeah, that was exactly why it's a thing.
Okay.
Outside of MMA, what's your dream job?
I own a personal training studio right now, so I'd love to own a larger personal training studio, larger gym. That's what I like doing.
And that's gonna happen at some
Or
point.
or professional skateboarder.
Do
That
you
would be
skateboard
sick.
now?
I skateboarded for like 8 years when I was younger. I roll on a skateboard now every once in a while. I love doing it. I still watch skateboarders videos to this day. I love skateboarding. I think it's a fantastic sport, and you get to pretty much roll on with your homies, skateboard, and then go party every night, travel around the world. That sounds like a fantastic job to me. And
I
you don't
feel
have to
like
wait.
I feel like no one gives love to the X Games, but every time they come on, I'm always like, that's so badass. Everything they always do.
Yeah, it's insane. The level of the sports these days is just ridiculous.
Favorite movie?
Legends of the Fall.
Favorite pump up song?
Ooh. That's mood based. That's not really a favorite song. That's more mood based.
Like,
So I went with Hustlers. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say like if you're in like training and you need like one song to like really get you going.
Put On by Young Jeezy.
Oh, all right. That's
That one
a
gets me every
solid
time.
pick.
Now, we were talking about bar fights earlier. If you want me to get into a bar fight, now I don't know why this song does to me, but shipping off to Boston, it puts me in that mood. Like
Yes.
I might break a bottle and stab somebody. I don't know what's gonna happen, but that puts me in the mood.
That song gets the people going. That's the Dropkick Murphys, the Boston special.
Provocative.
On Wednesday, Michael Chiesa or Neil Magny?
I'm gonna go Neil Magny. I think he's longer. I think he's better striking. If it goes, I don't know.
Man, I love Michael Chiesa at that weight
so
class.
They're so
He's a gangster
evenly
too,
matched.
though.
It's
They
wild.
are. It's like I feel like experience-wise, they're matched up well. Chiesa might have a little bit better experience than he does, so I'll still take Magny.
Nice. And then obviously UFC 257, Connor or Poirier?
Connor.
Yeah.
Just based on I know Poirier's had a lot more tougher fights and a lot more tougher opponents in the past couple of fights and been more active. But McGregor, I know he gets better too. I know people think he's probably just sitting on like the sidelines doing nothing, but I know that man's training. I know what he's doing is definitely gonna showcase in Saturday night. And I think that left hand is just deadly. I think I think he's levels ahead of people, like he says. He's just intelligent in those terms, and I think fight IQ plays a big part in that fight.
Yep. And Poirier does tend to get hit a lot, so that could be a big factor in it. So last thing here, describe your fighting style using one word.
Gorilla. You figure that out yourself. You figure that out yourself. I don't know what that means. Yeah.
I like that. All right, man. Hey, we really appreciate you coming on. So the last segment, we allow you to the floor. We call it the floor is yours. You are allowed to plug any sponsors, say anything you want to say. You're allowed to ask us a question, whatever you want. You have all the time you need. The floor is yours. Take it away.
Okay, question for you. Advice to a guy who's trying to have kids but does have no kids.
So you want to have kids, but you don't want to have kids?
We're trying to have kids, but we don't have any kids. So we're trying to have kids. What's your advice for a guy about to have kids?
Oh, man. First off, enjoy the moments that you don't have them. So I was actually just talking about my wife to my wife today is like, I feel like the times that I was with her for 7 years, I think, before we had our first kid. And it's like, I wish I could go back to those times sometimes because you take them for granted. And now it's like, I'm 26 years old with 2 kids and it's like, I have so much responsibility now and I love them. I would never change it for the world, but it's like, there's just, you have so much more time to do things. So enjoy the time that you don't have them. But I would just say if you have a weak stomach, work on making it stronger because the shit smells terrible. And you don't know in which ways it's going to come out. It might come out of the diaper. It might go on the floor. You might get some on your hand. It's a mess. I don't know, just have fun. Like it is a great experience, but you got to just kind of keep your cool. I find myself at times like freaking out and like wanting to lose my mind. But at the end of the day, it is the best job in the world as being a parent, without a doubt.
Okay. So I actually, both my brother-in-laws both just had kids. So one's 4 and 2, and one is like 8 months old. And I've been talking to him, and I'm like, I will literally do that. I will literally like, if I want to sleep in on a Sunday and like just go downstairs and watch TV in my basement, watch a big ass TV as loud as I want, and maybe take some recreational activity too. Just chill out down there by myself without having to deal with any of my wife sleep. I do whatever I want. Like I take those times of just like I know they're waking up at 6 a.m. on a Sunday with some screaming kid. I'm like, I'm not doing that, and I'm gonna enjoy the shit out of this. So.
Yes, that's so. My buddy over here he doesn't have any kids, so that's what I mean. Like I used to, I used to love going out to the bar with my friends or like, doing that kind of stuff. And now, like, it's not that I don't get to do anything. I mean, obviously, I'm here. This is a hobby. I'm a teacher full time, so
Yeah.
this is a hobby for me. But I don't get to do all the things I used to. So enjoy it now while you have it.
Okay.
I would
Steve,
also,
go ahead.
yeah. No, I was gonna say because my brother has 3 kids. I was gonna say babysit and do it pretty often and just kind of get a little bit of taste of what it's gonna be like because that puts it right into perspective when you babysit 2 or 3 kids.
No, I've hung around their kids. I don't wanna. I'm good.
Okay.
No, but I like that. That's smart. Steve, what is your dream job? What do you want to do? If you could wake up tomorrow and do whatever you wanted to do.
You know what I always said I wanted to do? I think it would be incredible. Would be to be like a big time DJ. If I could be anything, I would want to be like a big time DJ and just get like the crowd like pumped up all the time and travel
DJ
and just
Pauly
do all these.
D,
Yeah, except like not him.
except not
Like
a douchey guy. Okay.
yeah.
You are Italian though, Steve. You
I
are
am Italian though.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
tough, but that would probably be my dream job.
Okay. Zach, what about you?
I am Zach. Oh, my dream job. I thought you were talking to Carrie. My dream job. I would say podcasting. Like I love doing this. This is just this to me. Like this is the 3rd podcast I've done. This is the first one that is actually like not taking off, but like we're finally signed under a banner and like it's the first one really kind of making it. I love UFC and I love talking with the fighters and I think that like I've really learned a lot just from like because I think a lot of people would be intimidated to talk to a fighter like they fight for a living, but we've realized really quickly that you guys are all cool as hell and it's really fun to talk to you guys. And I see the thing is my goal is as an interviewer is to make it fun. Like I don't want the fighters to come on and be asked like the same question over and over and over. I want to talk to fighters and have fun and like make them want to come back on the show, not like they just did a typical after fight, post fight show where they're like, yeah, I grew up fighting because, that's what I did and I like to fight. Like, no, I want to talk about fun, real shit, like not the stupid stuff. So that's kind of like my goal with this. So I would definitely say podcasting.
Okay. First, those are both great answers, and 2, you guys did a great job with the interview. You guys asked a lot of different questions that I really enjoyed, and so you guys did a great job with that.
Awesome, man.
Thank
well,
you
we
very much.
appreciate it. We would love to have you back on. Yeah, anytime. Let us know. We'll have you back on. If you want to come talk fights, we can talk fights. Whatever you want to do, my man, you're welcome back on anytime.
I have one more question.
Yeah.
When's the Olympics versus Coffee and KOs?
When COVID allows it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, listen. So I would love to come down at like over the summer. Whether I can do that or not financially, we'll see. But I think that because we've talked to Fight Bananas about it, and I think it would be awesome. So we would love to really come down there in the summer and make it happen.
I think that'd be a huge episode. Honestly, I do. Like nobody's ever done that before. They always are like challenge fighters to other stuff before. I don't think I've ever seen anything on. You know what I mean? I've never seen anything like that. So I think even for your fight or for your banner, I don't know why they didn't dive into that. Like it's a great idea. Because
I think it'd be great.
You got to think all these people are trying to come up with ideas of how to do this and how to do that. Like that's a fantastic idea.
Yeah, I think
it's a great idea. But it's also like UFC seems to be like kind of like an untapped market in a way. Like people talk about all like the big 4 sports, but people don't really talk about UFC a lot. I think that's what we're trying to do is kind of like get UFC more like mainstream and like do these cool things because UFC is incredible.
For sure. I think that's a great way to go about it too.
Well, we'll be in touch and you can help advocate for us and make sure you start talking to the guys around Glory and be like, we got to start practicing ping pong like on Sundays after practice so that we can smoke these fools. And then they'll eventually be like, they'll be ready to go.
I'm just going to walk out and be like, these sons of bitches were talking some shit.
Yeah, get him like hyped up. I know James Krause. He seems like he would. He likes all the shit
he's
talk and everything. He'd be competitive.
Competitive as they come, man.
Just don't. The only restriction is there's no wrestling because you guys would kill me. I'm a little guy, but I'm overweight, and I would probably tear like every bone in my body. So I can't take a
Sounds
hit,
like a
man.
personal
I am
problem.
soft. You are 100% right. Last thing. We are sending a shirt to Glory MMA. You have to make sure you sign it. We're actually raffling one off, and then we are going to keep one in our studio here and hang it up on the wall. It's this shirt, but it's in white. It says "Crazy About Fights" and "Jacked on Caffeine."
Let's go.
So make sure you sign that so we can have that up on our wall, man.
Absolutely will do.
We appreciate it. Carrie, take us out.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Coffee N KOs crew has called an end to this interview, declaring the winner by knockout, Jason the Vanilla Gorilla Witt.
Hey, Jason, thanks for joining us today. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed that, make sure you follow us on Twitter and Instagram, both at Coffee N KOs 1. This has been Coffee N KOs Outside the Octagon. We'll see you next time.